everybody. Welcome to A Few Minutes with the Mayor. That's what I said, A Few Minutes with the Mayor, Mayor Neville Hall from the City of Eden. We will be starting a new show once a month. It will be the last Thursday night of the month. And we're going to be talking about everything Eden City. And if you want to get in and ask your questions, send us an email to nhall@edennc.us. It's right there on the bottom of your screen. That's nhall@edennc.us. Tongue's getting twisted around my teeth today. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Debbie, and I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm glad you're recovering as well as you are, as we talked about before we came on. So.
Thank you so much. This is fun. I've been wanting to do this with the City of Eden for a long time, so I'm really excited that we're going to be able to do this. But first, let's talk. The city just celebrated 50 years.
50 years. We had a year-long celebration.
Yeah.
We had incredible events. We celebrated at Riverfest with big cake and recognized some of the original city council members that were still around, and a lot of the business leaders have been participating. You know, with Chamber Coffee we had at the City Hall, we had businesses that had been around the entire life of Eden to come in and bring some of their old merchandise and things and really show off. And the citizens really bought into the 50th anniversary celebration, and we had all kinds of special events that y'all did a great job advertising and covering for us. So we appreciate that, and it is a special time, and we're thankful that it went as well. The celebrations all worked as fun as they were.
And one of the fun things for me was the day we filled the time capsule. The City of Eden filled a time capsule that'll be opened in
2042.
2042, 25
years from this one, yeah. And it just, again, we had people putting in personal items, and then we had a lot of businesses, and we had items from the city, a sample water bill. We put a copy of this year's budget in there, and I actually had to come up with I wrote a letter to the citizens.
His letter
in
was
25
fabulous.
years.
Yes.
As if I'm going to be there to read it when they open the time capsule. So it was written from a future perspective, and it was that was a lot of fun to try to think about what people will remember from 25 years ago.
I know, and Star News put some stuff in there, and we were thinking, we put in a DVD of all the commercials that we had done for the City of Eden over the past year, and afterwards, we got to thinking, well, will there be a way to even play that?
What will you watch it on? Yeah.
How will you watch it? Will that still be something that's relevant in 25 years?
So the whole idea of the time capsule it's just been a lot of fun. It's kind of ended the 50-year celebration and gave some future perspective for the 75th anniversary when we'll open that one up and enjoy seeing those things. And it was well received, well attended. You covered the event and like you said, participated by putting items in, and I look forward to hopefully being there when they open it up.
Me too, but I'm thinking 25 years from now.
You got it. You got a new hip.
I'm going to be pretty close now. I got a new hip, that's right. I got a new hip, I'll be here. I think I'll be close to 90.
You got it.
You're going to come get me, aren't you?
I hope so. In my flying car, right?
In his flying car. He's going to come take me to the opening of the time capsule. That'll be awesome.
I got you.
But I just honestly feel like that is something that kids that aren't even born yet will get to see, and how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's such a neat idea, and the fact that it was so well received and so many interesting items are in there, that's going to make it, so exciting in 25 years, because like you say, the kids literally will be looking at things and saying, what in the world is a DVD?
Exactly. What is a DVD?
Yeah. But,
and I think we did some segments we put in on a thumb drive too.
Oh.
So they're going to have a thumb drive and a DVD and...
The thumb drive probably should still be around.
Well, I don't know. Are we going to still have computers, or are we going to all be using little smartphones?
That's right. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? To me, the City of Eden is very progressive, and they seem to always be looking forward. So that leads kind of to the next thing, your big strategic meeting.
Well, exactly what you're talking about. The looking forward part, the city council and the staff and the city employees have all started the process with what we call a strategic plan, and we're looking down the road 5 years and beyond at the things we need to do and the things we need to start doing now so that 5 years from now situations can be a lot different. And part of that is the reason I'm here tonight. We decided, we listened to the citizens as we had the strategic planning meetings. They want to be more informed. They want to know what's going on, what's happening in the city. So we've begun these meetings or a series of shows with you, as well as our Did You Know advertisements that have been well received on Star News, and people are appreciative of the fact that we're being progressive and showing what's out there and what's available. We, as part of our strategic planning that we budgeted for this year, we've put the LED sign in front of City Hall to announce events and keep citizens as informed as we can. And then in addition to that, we have a text messaging service that you can opt into. It will not be sent to anybody who doesn't want to be, and of course you can always get out. But like you said, that is the way people communicate now.
Sure.
So we're going to have these texts as an option to let you know what's happening with the city. And that's all part of the strategic plan that is a long-term plan. It's several years, and as part of that, annually or regularly, we will have meetings to involve citizen input, and the next such meeting is on March 1st at the Eden Room at City Hall in Eden. It is from 6 to 7. It's a drop-in format. It's going to cover some of the things that were implemented during this first year, some of the ones I've just mentioned. We spent some of the budgeted and money that we allocated for the strategic plan on extension of the greenways.
Yeah, that's a biggie for a lot of folks.
We used some of that money for the pocket park that we're working on in Draper, and of course the weather's held us up with that for a while, but it's back and rolling. So these are the things we're using the strategic plan for, because that's what, when we met with the citizens, these are the things they said they wanted to see happen, and that's what we funded the dog park in Freedom Park out of this allocated money towards the strategic plan, because time after time when people came to the meetings and we said, what would you like to see? They wanted a place to take their pets. So, that's, like you said, we're trying to be progressive. We're trying to provide as best services and best facilities we can with the amount of money that we have. And so these meetings, these strategic planning meetings, are where you get a chance to come and say, hey, I'd like to see this, or we're glad you did this.
Right.
Because that goes a long way too.
We were talking about the greenways there for a minute, and I think the Matrimony Creek Trail is about ready to open too, isn't it?
It's under construction.
Right.
It's, with this time of the year with the weather,
yes,
and the past month or two when it was extremely cold, I don't think a whole lot of outside work got done beyond repairing water leaks.
Yes.
So anyway, they're back in that. They're back on that. I mean, that's going to make a great connection for the Greenway on the western side of town. There was, a lot goes into doing that. When you crossing people's land, you got to get easements, and it takes a while to do. But we were fortunate to get a grant from Duke Energy for the majority of the cost of that, and it's a beautiful trail down the creek. I've been told. I have to admit, I have not walked it. I'm looking forward to it.
Shame on you.
Well, it's not open yet. But
well,
the people who
let my hip get a little stronger. We'll go do it together. How's that?
I'll do that. So yeah, it's going to be nice to have, and that still doesn't make it a loop, but it gets us another section that in the ultimate scheme, 20 years ago, they were talking about having a connected loop. Well, now we've got several sections that are closer to connecting. So maybe in 20 years, we'll have a nice greenway around the city that connects all parts of town.
And you guys are so lucky. You have all the rivers running through through Eden. So you have the water, the beauty, and all of that going on down there. I remember several years ago, the city had me go out and do some video. And I got to be on the rivers, on the river banks. I got to go in places that probably most people don't go.
Right.
And to shoot and to see the wildlife and everything else that
if you
have to offer over there. If you
come into City Hall and look at the photographs on the wall that are taken of our natural scenes and like you say, the wildlife and the river scenes, it's just incredible the amount of beauty, natural beauty that's in Eden, and we're all fortunate to have the rivers we have, and we use that to our advantage for marketing, and hopefully it draws tourism, and it draws hopefully people realize what a great resource we have, and obviously it can be a great benefit for industrial recruitment.
Sure.
Having the water supply that we do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have plenty of fresh water. You have lots of space.
We do.
And then Eden is providing the water for the industrial park on Berry Hill Road. Is that correct?
On Berry Hill Road, that is right. The Danville Regional Mega Park, Berry Hill on Berry Hill Road, and this has been going. That's another thing. It's kind of like these big projects take forever.
Yes,
it just drags on. So this has been going on for many years in the state of Virginia. Finally cleared some regulations and some hurdles with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Right.
Began the process, and they realized that it would make a great partnership to run the water from Eden to the sites, and that's
closer.
That's right. It's closer, and we have the supply. We can supply as many users as they would need, and so we made that partnership with them. It's still in its infancy. I mean, it's still a long way before the thing's built out, but they're getting so much interest. They get requests for information very frequently for that park. Like I said, the state of Virginia has been so active in building and marketing or developing it. They haven't marketed it yet, but they're committed to it. And once there are users there, that's when we'll run the water and have it available. And I was just talking today with somebody about it, and we've secured grant funding for over half of what we would spend on the water line.
Wow.
So, and the goal.
And then the revenue would come back.
And then you get revenue back. So before, we haven't had to spend any tax money. If we were to run the water line tomorrow, we would have already secured grant funding for half of it. And the goal is to secure more grants to get at least 3/4 of the cost of running the water line, so that you don't have to spend tax money. But even if you do have to spend city money to put the line in, the other quarter of the cost, that's when you start getting the money back.
That's when you start
and
getting
you don't
some
put it
revenue.
out there until you're ready to have a user. So
that's right.
But again, you're looking 15 years down the road, which is what you have to do, because right now we're in the process of correcting our sewer issues that were developed over 30 or 40 years and not maintained.
And not maintained,
You got to stay on top of it and get in front of it, and it hurts. It hurts when you having to pay for it, but it's really not fair to leave it for the people behind you. My two boys don't want to have to pay to fix the sewer.
Neither does my grandchild. So, that isn't something that you want to leave behind.
So, if we can do that, especially with the water line, and I mean, it's obvious, we would like to have another water user to come in and occupy the Miller Coors plant.
Sure.
If we were able to get someone in there, and then at the same time have something break through on the mega park and run water there, those are the kinds of revenue streams that will allow you to maintain your water and sewer system and not have to have rate increases.
Right.
Because if you don't have the income and you still have failing systems, you still have to maintain it. The water department has to be open every day, and the water and sewer every day, all night, and it has to have employees there, whether we got 1 million gallons going out or 1,000 gallons going out.
Exactly. Because everybody wants a shower and brush their teeth
and
before they go to bed at night. Well, before we have to leave, most of you know I'm the director of the Fine Arts Festival Association of Rockingham County, and the City of Eden, for the second year, will be hosting the Fine Arts Festival.
It will again be at City Hall, in the Eden Room of City Hall, and you have the date.
Yes.
You told me.
The first entry date would be March 22nd, and that's for music, poetry, and prose. The second entry date will be April the 3rd, which will be for all 2D and 3D work. Then we open the show on the 15th of April right there in the Eden Room.
All right, that's in City Hall. So
in City Hall.
Should be able to find it. You can find that LED sign.
308 Stadium Drive. I memorized that one.
Good.
Neville, thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie.
And I look forward to having you back next week, or excuse me, next month. We'll be back on the 4th, the last Thursday of March.
Take two.
Take two is the end of the day for me. The last Thursday night in March, Neville and I will be back. Remember, if you have questions for him, send them to inhall at edennc.us.
Right.
We can answer those right here on the air, so next time, be prepared, send your questions in, we'll get them answered. Until we see you again, I'm Neville Hall and Debbie Moore for Star News.
Thank you.